We're back in my kitchen for another peek at my digital cookbook. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Kira if you are new, and today I am sharing with you some what's for dinner clips. I have some really great recipes in here to share with you. A lot of them are just walkthroughs like I normally do. I have a bunch of links for you to share. I know someone asked for my sauce recipe, which I'll make sure to link in the description box for you. But I had a lot of really good creations this past few weeks that I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm gonna bring you down to the counter like I always do, and I'm gonna share with you guys what we had for dinner. All right, you guys, kicking off another what's for dinner. And tonight we did soup and sandwiches. So everybody else had grilled cheese, but I'm not like a huge cheese person. I mean, I am, but I like liquid nacho cheese. I don't know, I'm kind of a weirdo when it comes to cheese. So I did not have grilled cheese. I just made myself a bagel and I just put butter on it. I thought that would be really good just to kind of dunk in my soup. But the real main course is the ham and potato soup. So I don't have a recipe for this. I feel like I probably should film this sometime, but it's so easy that if I tell you it right now, it's that simple. But this is a dump and go recipe. I got a really big ham for Easter. I think I spent like 60 bucks on this ham. And I went to my friend Michelle's, and she has a smoker, and so she smoked it for me. And we had some that night, but it was so big that she sent me home like 3 gallon size sandwich, like Ziploc bags full of this shredded ham. And so we had some leftovers like right after Easter, but then we froze the other 2 bags. And so I pulled one of them out and I made a ham and potato soup. So let me just explain to you how easy that this was. So in the crock pot, I diced up like half a bag of russet potatoes. So you can see the size of the potato, right? Just not like a small cube or a small wedge. And I threw that into the crock pot. I put 1 container of chicken broth. Then I filled that again, so those are 28 ounces. So I filled that again with water and I put that in there. So 56 ounces, half water, half chicken broth, and 2.5 pounds of diced potatoes. And then I threw in this bag of shredded meat. It was probably 2 pounds at least, maybe 3, of this shredded ham. And then I diced up a small onion. That is it. You guys, I did nothing else. I let it slow cook for 8 hours. Let all the flavor from the smoked ham, from the broth and the onions all kind of work together. And then once it was done, I took a half a cup of flour and then a 1.5 cups of heavy cream and whisked it together and then added it to the soup and let it come to a boil like a roux. And then it made a creamy, more of a creamy ham and potato soup. That is it. It is so flavorful because the ham is so flavorful, and the broth and the onion and the potatoes and then the cream all together just make such a flavorful soup. When I tell you I did not salt, I did not pepper. Daryl said he needed a little salt, he thought, but I feel like you can salt your own bowl. I never want to over salt. I thought the meat was salty. It was a sodium filled broth. It wasn't like a low sodium broth. So I felt like it had enough salt, but I think it's very, very good. I'm going to throw a dollop of sour cream on it and crumple up some Ritz crackers, and I'm going to dunk my bagel in my soup, and I'm going to go ahead and eat while it's still hot. But this, you guys, is what we are having for dinner tonight. All right, you guys. So this plate might not look like much, but I promise you that this plate is literally everything. So I am gonna either insert a clip or I'll share with you at the end what the chicken looks like, the whole tray of it. But this is that pineapple jalapeno popper dip that I got from Sam's. And it says right on the top of it to use as a dip to spread on a burger, a sandwich, or a bagel. So my thought was to kind of use it in my chicken dip. So I filleted chicken cutlets and then I smeared this pineapple jalapeno popper dip on it and I rolled it up. And then I dunked it in egg and I rolled it in that Kinder's Italian herb blend breadcrumb. and then I rolled it in a piece of bacon and I stuck it in the pan. And once I finished all of that, I took a jar of the Rayo's Alfredo and I put it over the top and I baked it in the oven. That simple. And everything stayed. So you can see as a whole that you can see all the piece of bacon stayed firmly around the chicken. And then I cut into it so you can see that it's all, whoopsie, that it's all rolled up and cooked, and that the cheese is down there on the inside. And so we made that, and then we coupled it with those. I was gonna make a casserole out of these big giant noodles, but I never had time to make another side dish. This dinner was actually a spur of the moment. I was supposed to make something else. We ran out of an ingredient. I had to bump the dinner, and so I did not have a side dish planned for this yet. So I just wanted to use these big giant noodles that I got from Aldi as like a buttered noodle. Like, look at the size of those, you guys are huge. I wanted to use it as a casserole, but this Alfredo made such a yummy gravy at the bottom that now it is perfect over this garlic and oil noodle. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat my garlic and oil Alfredo noodles with my pineapple jalapeno bacon stuffed wrapped chicken on my paper plate because I'm classy like that. And so I'm gonna go ahead and eat dinner with the fam, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, you guys, so believe it or not, I am at work. I brought my dinner from last night to eat at work today. So last night we did breakfast for dinner. These were the last of the hash brown little cakes that I had from Aldi. The bag was big enough that I got 2 meals out of it. This is the first thing I can say from Aldi that I wasn't a huge fan of. I feel like they're a little on the thin side, but they did crisp up really nice. And then these are the croissants from Sam's. And then on it, I just have a scrambled egg casserole. So I had leftover ham from the Monte Cristos, and we had leftover bacon from that chicken bacon jalapeno dish that we made. So I chopped that all up and shoved it into some scrambled eggs and cheese, and we made omelets out of it and put it on croissants. So they had that last night for dinner along with some fresh fruit, and then I was working. So I brought my dinner in to eat with me today for lunch, and I figured I would share it with you guys. So breakfast for dinner is always the way to go, and this is what we had for dinner last night. All right, you guys, so it is appetizer night for dinner tonight. I always feel like appetizer night is a great night for eclectic things. Like if you just have a ton of little bits of something in your freezer, it's a great way to just kind of pull a whole bunch of stuff together and use a bunch of little things to make a meal. And it's super easy on a night when you're just trying to be quick. But I did make a couple of things that I didn't put on my plate. So we did have some chicken wings tonight, but I deal with wings all day at work, so I was not in the mood for that at dinner time. And then I did also make my buffalo chicken dip, which is in my cookbook that I wrote with the girls. So I'll link that. It's on Amazon, so I'll link that in the description box. But I was not really in the mood for anything spicy. So I did just make the little pigs in a blanket. So just a little bit of the buttermilk biscuits around the little cocktail weenies. Ooh, they're hot. And I'm looking forward to that. I usually like to dip that in like a spicy brown mustard. I have some onion rings here, which I like that in a zesty sauce too. Sometimes I'll make it, but I'm not in the mood for that today. I think I have a pack from Zaxby's in there, like their zesty sauce from maybe their, I think it gets served with their fried mushrooms or something. And I think I have a pack of that in there. So I'll use that for that instead of making it. Just got some regular old pizza rolls there. And then I got that nacho cheese from Amazon. And then this is that pretzel from Aldi. So it is okay, but I really was hoping it would just taste a little bit better. The inside is good, but the outside just has a little bit of an odd flaky texture. It almost seemed dry when I bit into it. Like you really need the cheese to enjoy it. I'm a little disappointed. I really love Bavarian pretzels. We used to serve one at Matanga's, and that was like my favorite thing with their beer cheese was my favorite thing there. So I love it, especially since I was looking for that recreation from that restaurant in Pennsylvania, but it's still good. We're gonna eat it, but I don't know if it's everything that it's cracked up to be. But all right, you guys, I'm gonna go dive into my appetizers. This is what's for dinner tonight. All right, you guys, I feel like sometimes I look through the viewfinder and I'm like, wow, my food doesn't actually look gourmet, but I swear to you, it tastes so stinking good. So tonight we did bratwurst and pierogies. I am a little disappointed with the bratwurst just because I didn't want to do it on the grill. So I put the bratwurst just on a cutting board and I cut diagonal wedge pieces of it, and then I put the pierogies and some onions and butter and a light sprinkle of cheese in the oven, and I baked it like a casserole. So it is very tender on the inside, but the outside got a little bit more, I don't want to say charred, but it shriveled up and it kind of got like an outside skin. Sausage and peppers does that too when you cook sausage and peppers like that in the oven, but that's why I'm usually not one for it like that. I was hoping it was gonna stay a little bit more juicy and not as shriveled up, but the bratwurst itself has a great flavor, especially with the onions and the butter, the way it cooked with the pierogies in the oven. It is really, really good. The pierogies are delicious. I love pierogies, especially with butter and onions. And then I like a little bit of sour cream. And then I think I might even put a dollop of some applesauce in my sour cream. I like my potato latkes like that, or like the Jewish pancakes. Like I really like potato latkes with the sour cream and applesauce, and I like pierogies like that too. So I think I'll put a little applesauce in there, but just it smells so good and the flavors together are really good. So I know it doesn't ever really look like much, but it is super delicious and I'm looking forward to diving in. This is what's for dinner tonight. All right, you guys, so Swedish meatballs for dinner tonight. I do have a cooking video for this, so I'll link it for you. This is a super simple and easy recipe, and one of the things I love about this is I use the meatballs now that I get from Walmart, and they're sold right in a bag in the frozen food section. They have a home style and then they have the Italian style. I get the home style so that I can use it for not just an Italian dish. It does taste very good inside of pasta sauce, but then it doesn't have that Italian feel when you want to use it for something like this. And so I just go ahead and cook the meatballs right when I'm cooking the noodles. Like when the hot water comes up, I drop both of them in the hot water, and then once it's done, I drain everything together, and then I mix it with a little bit of gravy and some sour cream and a little bit of Parm cheese and kind of make a really nice creamy sauce, and then put it in a bowl, and everybody loves it. And I did just cut up some cucumber because I really needed something like fresh and crunchy. I was gonna do roasted carrots, but they ended up being bad, so I need to pick those up, put those on the list for the next time. So Maya and I are just doing some fresh cucumber on the side. But all right, you guys, this is what is for dinner tonight. All right, you guys, I have been waiting to share this one with you. So this is my Penne alla vodka recipe, which I do have a cooking video for. It is a super old video though. I believe it's my second cooking video ever on my channel, so it's probably like 7-8 years old, and it is before editing and computers and better cameras and all the things, but the principle of the recipe is there, and I do believe it is in one of my cookbooks as well. So super easy, very, very delicious. And then this time I just diced up a zucchini, and when I was sauteing the onions and the garlic and the prosciutto, I went ahead and threw in a zucchini, and it really did just bulk up the sauce, and you can't even really see it. It's kind of hidden in there. I mean, if you zoom in real close, then you could see it, but for the most part you can't even tell that it's there, which is awesome because Mason has already eaten like 3 raviolis over there, and he has no idea what I hid in there. So excited for that. Went ahead and just put some Parm cheese on that. This is like 4.5 raviolis. It really is enough in that bag. I didn't think it was going to be enough. The 2 bags are enough because with salad, I also have leftover croissants from breakfast for dinner, and I toasted them up like garlic bread. I don't want the extra bread, but everybody else is having some of the garlic bread croissants with that. So it is so filling with that, the salad, this. We definitely don't need anything else. But this is the Pizzeria Crunch salad. Like, I did go ahead and add like cucumbers and tomatoes and stuff because it's nothing but lettuce and then the toppings that come in there. But darn, you guys, it is the dressing, literally fantastic. It has a great Italian flavor, a perfect accompaniment with a pasta dish. So I'm very excited to go ahead and dive into this guy, and we will see you guys tomorrow for what's for dinner. All right, you guys, so tonight for dinner, we did a roasted chicken, and I actually recreated one of the recipes from the 50 Shades of Chicken book. I will link this playlist if you guys are new and haven't ever seen these videos since they're super old. My husband and I had a lot of fun with them, and we just tried to joke around with them, but this is still a really legitimate cookbook. The F.L. Fowler, he tried to, that's a pen name anyways, just to go off of the E.L. James, the way that the original 50 Shades of Grey books are. But all puns aside, this is a really, really, really good cookbook, and there's a lot of great recipes in there. And so we got those cherries from Aldi, and I wanted to be able to use them in a recipe, and I remembered one of these recipes had this cherry chicken. And so the whole joke of it is you're supposed to cook half of the chicken breast side down and let the top end get a crisp on it, and then you like stick a spoon in the cavity and flip it over, and then cook for another 45 minutes with the breast up to get a crisp. So it's almost crisped all the way around, and then you cook it on a bed of herbs and these cherries. So I have the whole recipe in a video to show you guys, and I just made it along some mashed potatoes and some corn. But this chicken is fantastic. Mason's already had 2 pieces, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat some before I don't get any. But you guys, this is what's for dinner tonight. All right, you guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope we were able to bring you a little bit of dinner inspiration. Make sure to leave in the comments and let me know what your favorite recipe was that you saw today and what you're gonna go ahead and recreate at home. I love to hear that. Give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.